Well, the residents have a lot of problems, as we all do, emotional and mental, and been beat down to society and drug habits.
The $47 million cornerstone of the city's plan to end homelessness is now turning into a hotbed for crime. We're finding out what's being done to stop it tonight. Welcome, everyone, to KOIN 6 News at 6. I'm Kelly Day.
And I'm Jeff Gianola, and we're talking about the Bud Clark Commons. Here are the facts. The 7-story, 130-unit apartment building opened in June of 2011. A 90-bed shelter and day center also available there, but drug use and drinking in the building is allowed as long as it happens behind closed doors. But now it's really getting out of hand. Residents and visitors say a handful of tenants are now actually dealing drugs from their apartments. Chris Holmstrom live at the Commons getting answers tonight. I think a lot of people, Chris, didn't realize that you can drink and do drugs as long as it's behind closed doors at this housing complex.
Yeah. That's exactly right, and there's no easy solution, but managers say this is definitely a challenge, but they say this complex right behind me is an investment and that they're hopeful it'll all pay off soon.
Well, the residents have a lot of problems, as we all do, emotional and mental, and been beat down to society and drug habits.
Kenneth Doney has been living in the Bud Clark Commons since last March. He pays $340 a month for a tiny studio in Old Town.
The program is not just a place to live. It helps you with, counseling and gets you a job search. It gives you a foundation.
It's all federally funded and houses Portland's most vulnerable population. Portland police say the complex is becoming unmanageable. In 2012, police responded to nearly 400 calls in the first 10 months. The next year, that number went up to more than 500. Police say the majority of those calls were public disturbances, larceny, and theft. Calls consistent with drug dealing.
Does that surprise you that there's been so many police calls there?
Well, not necessarily. No, it doesn't surprise me. I've lost 2 laptops out of my house. I was stupid and left the door open. There's a lot of mental issues in that place, and people run to hide, but I know the management's working to get those bad people out.
I asked Portland Police Bureau how they can try to curb this problem. They say anytime there's a high volume of calls in one area, they look into it.
We want to work with management, especially in large complexes, on coming up with solutions that allows the residents to feel safe in their homes.
I found out the nonprofit Home Forward manages the complex. While they did not want to go on camera, they say they are aware of the issue. And if they can prove that someone is dealing drugs, they will evict them.
They got cameras on every floor, and they try to regulate that. It's a good program. I mean, it basically saved my life. The streets were getting me.
Managers here tell me they do have a working relationship with Portland Police. They also tell me residents here have an 80% success rate, but success for many of them means meeting with their caseworkers, getting drug treatment, and also getting medical care. Reporting live from Old Town, I'm Chris Holmstrom, KOIN 6 News.
Chris, thank you. And our news partners at the Portland Tribune will have much more on the drug problem at Clark Commons coming up. You can pick up a copy of the Tribune tomorrow or check it out online.